Today's rebuild is one of the most requested yet. A two-time back-to-back European Cup winner in 79 and 80 under a manager that nobody has ever even heard of. I'm joking, it was Brian Clough. Of course I'm on about Nottingham Forest. Let's go straight into this one. Right, welcome back, Dad. Nottingham Forest. It's one of our most requested and, in fact, your choice that we had. We have simulated a season straight away just to see, and it randomizes everything, like I mentioned before. And I haven't used the updated database. I don't know why. I just chose not to use it, but it was quite funny that two of the original teams that have gone up, Norwich and Brentford, obviously Watford down there, and two of the teams that went down, I think, actually went down. We finished, though. Nottingham Forest finished in 13th place without us controlling it, and obviously people always ask why I do this. It's just to randomise, so I don't know any of the prices. Nottingham Forest, though, this is our biggest challenge yet, because they are the second division. Like before, we've never done a second division team. We've always been in the top division. We've only ever done one away from the Premier League. What would you consider a success for 5 seasons simulating for this rebuild?
5 seasons, eh? Right. Definitely getting to the Premier League.
Yeah, that's
got to be the main thing for anybody, isn't it?
Yeah. Anybody who's a Forest fan. For years and years.
And I would say probably trying to get into the mid-table with a chance of getting European football. That would be a bonus, but definitely mid-table at the end by the time we finish. With a bit of silver.
Bit of silverware,
I fancy a bit of silver.
Yeah, like
you know me with the FA Cup? I love the FA Cup.
Would you take just a Carabao Cup?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. Mid-table with a bit of silver, I'll go for that. That'd be our challenge today.
Yeah, I think if you said to Forest fans, 5 years' time, you'll be a Premier League mid-table secured team, and you have won a Carabao Cup, I think they'd be over the moon with that. Yeah. Definitely. So, a team with a lot of history. Let's see if we can create some more.
Let's go for it.
Let's take a look at our first season transfers. So we took over Forest, like I always do, the 1st of June 2021 from Quique Sanchez Flores, who has only been in charge for 137 days. Now, they're a mid-table team, which they do have some strong players, to be honest, Forest, and they have a couple of players coming back from loan. One being Nuno da Costa, I think, who looked quite fancy, looked quite tasty for a championship player. So let's take a look at the transfers then, because I have been rather busy. In the transfer history, if we take a look at the ins, and we go to the most recent ones. Brought in a few Premier League names you might recognise. From my favourite club and yours. So, from my favourite club, we've brought in Daniel James. Now, I don't like Daniel James.
Don't you?
I don't. I've just watched him against Wolves, and I think he is a terrible player, to be honest. I really do think he is an awful player. His end product's not that good. But for Championship, he's pacey, physicals.
I'm going to be happy with that. That's what I was going to say. But
Ethan Laird, who is a very good fullback who can play on both sides. That's the main reason why I've brought him in. Just a little bit of squad depth, and he's very capable in the Championship. Now, Japhet Tanganga, who's had a fantastic couple of games for Spurs recently. I know you like him already.
I do,
I like him on this game as well. And you told me you had to bring something up, by the way, to do with your beloved Spurs. So would you like to announce that?
As from today, with the results that's gone on today, first time in the higher leagues history, Spurs are top of the league and Arsenal are bottom of the league. First time ever. So I've got to bring it up for us Tottenham fans. Sorry for the Arsenal fans. No, I'm not. Get in. We are top of the league.
First time, maybe the last ever time.
It probably will be,
You can't brag about that too much, so definitely worth it. Anyway, back to the video. We've signed a goalkeeper. Now, one of the strengths, one of the weaknesses that Forest had was a goalkeeper. And I got this guy on a free transfer, and he's 21, from Croatia. And for the Championship, I think he looks amazing. He's 6'4" as well, some really good physical attributes like agility, which obviously a goalkeeper really needs. Great command of area. Really pleased with that one. Positioning of 15, reflexes of 17. The only downside maybe is punching tendency of 18, but that's quite dubious because some people like to have a goalkeeper no nonsense, comes out, punches a ball.
I find a lot of foreign goalkeepers that are all punchers, with the English keepers more catchy. So
exactly. So it's preference, really. It's preference, and I think this is a very capable goalkeeper for this division. Now, we have made some other signings, a couple that I don't think you might have heard of, but I know a few of our viewers have. A lot of people always talk about Scott Fraser and how good he is for the lower leagues. MK Dons is the club he is at, and he is a championship level player. I think he's very much a well-rounded midfielder. A lot of 13s and 14s. He is going to be a very good starting centre midfielder for us.
Yeah.
And Lucas Lourenço. Now, I like my Brazilians. You like your Brazilians.
Yeah.
From Santos, Lucas Lourenço, 5'5" of him. He is quite fantastic, especially for the championship. 20 years of age. Now, the transfer budget that we were given was around about £3 million. But on the outs, I managed to get a very huge tally for one player. Where is he? There he is, Dale Taylor. And all I kept doing was upping the next offer. So I think a few clubs come in for him, and you guys watching at home might know this little trick. A couple of clubs came in for him. One offered a few £1 million. So I only accepted one, then offered him out for more. And I kept doing that and kept doing that until Everton were the only club to bid, and we managed to get £10 million. So we got a few pounds in the bank, and that's how I was able to bring in Lucas Lourenço. So a solid signing. Yeah, definitely worked for us. We also managed to get £5.75 million for João Carvalho, a player who is very good, but in that centre midfield role, the centre attacking midfield role, Lucas Lourenço, I think, is better, and he is got a lot of potential to be better overall, tactically. Now, I've built this tactic, and I quite like it. A 4-2-3-1. Two wingers, because I think we've got two very capable wingers to use. Scott McKenna is a very solid centre-back who can play on that left-hand side. If we went into the Premier League, I think he's good enough to play in the Premier League. Maybe not for one of the top clubs, but definitely to keep us in there, should we get there. So we want to keep hold of him.
Yeah.
We've got this man, and a lot of clubs are coming in for Yuri Ribeiro. I think he was from Benfica before. Really good physicals, all-rounder, fantastic stuff on that left-hand side. We're slotting Fraser in a deep-line playmaker. We've got a box-to-box midfielder next to him. My two favourite roles. We've got a few very good strikers that we can look to rely on. One being Nuno Costa. Nuno da Costa, who's come back from his loan deal. 16 goals in 35 games in the Belgian top division.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
I think we'd start with him, I think.
Absolutely. So hopefully he will play a lot in this. And we also have, I do think, we've seen him play and score against Plymouth Argyle in the playoff final, Lyle Taylor. I think he played for AFC Wimbledon when we went and watched the playoff final, and he scored the winner for him. So a bit of history there for us and Lyle Taylor. He's also in the club. Again, a really good striker for this division. Now, before we have a look at the results, Dad, you've been very much giving us fantastic targets to hit, and to be honest, the viewers are doing a very good job at actually hitting it.
Yeah,
so
we're definitely going for it, aren't we?
Number today, please.
People have been asking a lot for Nottingham Forest. I think we're going to get quite a good viewers in, so hopefully we'll do them well. Let's go for 1,500 again.
1,500 again. You heard it here first.
That was a big target for you last time.
That was. And we've hit it, to be fair. We've actually hit it. So 1,500, like button. Let's see if you can hit it again. So here we go. First season, and we have done it. Promoted. We didn't win the league, but we still managed to get over 102 points.
3 teams over 100.
Yeah.
In the championship.
That's
That's
good.
That's
so
good.
we're
we
going
all
up
deserve to go up.
We're going up with two massive Premier League teams as well, to be honest. Crystal Palace and Sheffield United. It looks like we've had a fantastic season because we only lost 4 games in the Championship. That's amazing, to be honest.
That is good.
We did draw 12, but still, we're up. We're promoted. That's what I'm happy with.
First season, we've done it. We're there.
Exactly. Our boy Nuno da Costa managed to get 21 goals. At least we set there with 40, so they Sheffield United. And they went up against West Ham in the playoff final on penalties, so that was an incredible playoff final. Our player, though, Joe Lolly, highest average rating, most assists. He has been our left-footed left winger, which has been playing for the majority of the season and done a fantastic job, taking us into the Premier League. Right, other competitions then. We were knocked down the 4th round by Arsenal and Manchester United in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. So we're not worried about that.
No. We've done the hard bit. We've got into the Premier League. Now our challenge starts now of keeping us and staying in that league.
Staying in there. Avoiding relegation in our first season back in the Premier League. Let's take a look at the goals then, because Nuno da Costa scored the most, 31 across the season. But Lucas Lourenço, what season he had. 16 goals, 15 assists. Very much a deserving player to be in that Premier League. Solid all round. He had the most assists joint with our left back Yuri Ribeiro, who again had a fantastic season, along with Joe Lolly. Scott Fraser, very much proven the doubters wrong. He was a great championship player for us. Is he going to stay in the team though in the Premier League? We'll soon find out. But first, before we have a look at the transfers, it's time for a word from our sponsor, Skillshare. Yes, this video is sponsored by Skillshare. They are a huge online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creators. Classes in shooting videos, editing that footage, and indeed creating the thumbnails, all the things that you would need to create your own content. Maybe you've been thinking about starting up your own YouTube channel and you just didn't quite know where to begin. Well, Skillshare is probably the best place for you, in my opinion. I took away so much from Marcus Brownlee on his course called YouTube Success. For example, the planning he puts into his videos beforehand is something that I've tried to be better at myself, because I ramble if I don't use bullet point scripts. So that's definitely a course that you need to be checking out yourself. There are no ads, which will interrupt your learning experience. And there are always new classes popping up for you to enjoy, with subtitles in many different languages, including French, Spanish, Portuguese, and even Dutch. And right now, if you click my link below, through September, Skillshare are giving away 1 month free trial for the first 1,000 people who click that link. So before that offer ends, or before it's too late, make sure you go into the description and click that link for that incredible offer. And thank you once again to Skillshare. So we're starting off on this page because we are £20 million in debt already, but we're in the Premier League where money just seems to flow a little bit more. We've had a starting budget of £34 million. As you can see, we only have £1 million left. We have spent a lot of money and we needed to. Yeah, exactly. We very much needed to. So let's take a look at some of the transfers that we have brought in. First, on the outs though, we had £1.5 million there. Did we have any at the end of the season? We did. We had a couple. Alex Mighton there leaving, Alex Pritchard, another guy there. And so we have our first signing, Tom Davies from Everton. I used to really like Tom Davies. I think he's slipped up a little bit in the last couple of seasons, but a lot of prospect in Tom Davies, and he's still very young, can still rejuvenate.
Probably been struggling to get into the side with the players that Everton have been signing, and he's just took a backward seat really. So
I agree. Yeah,
we'll take him.
We'll definitely take him. He can do a job for us, absolutely. Other signings though, he's actually popped up there as well. That's amazing how he's did on that. Liberato Kakache, I love this guy. He's my favourite left back on the game, and we have signed him. So a New Zealand international. You don't see them very much. We had one, of course, Rory Fallon for Plymouth Argyle in the unbeaten New Zealand. From that World Cup, how they managed to unbeaten, the only country to ever be unbeaten. But this guy's fantastic. He has a great potential in the game as well. We did spend a lot of money, 12.75 million, but I think it's worth it. We got a couple of loan deals, one of them being this guy from Manchester City, Filip Stevanovic, a Serbian young player who can play in two roles there. We want him to play on the left, to be honest, and see how he does in that role. Very much capable in the Premier League for sure. We have also brought in Jared Branthwaite, a really tall 6'5" defender. We've seen him in the Everton rebuild. He was still at the club after 10 seasons. We have brought him to Forrest when he is just 20. So a loan deal. We'll see if we can use him and make the most out of him. Now, other signings. Said Benrahma, a guy from West Ham who still find themselves in the Championship. Obviously, they're looking to offload their best players. They couldn't bounce back. He wanted to leave. We picked him up for a really cheap price of £3.9 million. Squad player, I thought. I think he's still really capable of playing in the Premier League, especially for a team like us who need a player like him. Carl Darlow, a backup goalkeeper and a very good one at that, 31 years of age, English as well. Quite cheap for 375k. Happy with that. Now, Valentino Lazaro. I don't know how we managed to get Valentino Lazaro. He is an Inter Milan player. Did play for Newcastle a couple of seasons ago. He plays across that right side in a number of positions. I think maybe like a wing back is probably his best role because he is quite good defensively as well. We've brought him in, £7.25 million. He was transfer listed. But the biggest signing of the transfer window is in fact another young Brazilian.
From Santos.
Caio Jorge. He has just signed for Juve, by the way, in real life. That shows how prospect he actually could be. And here, 20 years of age in 2022, I think he's fantastic. 6'1" as well, great physicals. He does have some weaknesses, like his finishing, head and everything is not quite there yet, not that good of a pass of the ball, but his mental attributes for his age, I think, outweigh really the rest of how people his age would look like. It's some 15s in there, composure and concentration. Solid player. I think this guy could be the talisman for us, and he's already worth £33 million. So let's get some goals from you, Kyle, please, because if we do have to lose you to bigger clubs, we'll get a big profit from him. So I'm happy with that. So, first season in the Prem. I think we need to take a look at our season preview, because obviously we are new here. They are rating us to go down still, third from bottom. So that's not too bad. I thought it could have been a lot worse. Funny enough though, our first game is against Tottenham Hotspur. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, we're going to lose the first game then, aren't we?
A hard start though. Tottenham, Everton, Manchester United, Burnley. There's no easy games in the Premier League.
There ain't going to be, no.
So tactically, we look kind of like this. Very much similar. These are the players that we're sticking in the positions to keep them playing every single game. Ben Rama on the right, Stevanovic on the left, Lucas Sorenko, and I'm keeping Lazaro there because I think he's just best suited there. He's easily our best right back.
You're not going to put in your player that you said was your best left back you've ever bought?
No, because for two reasons. He is the better left back. We still have Yuri Ribeiro though, and we had a lot of offers in for him, and I still wanted to keep him as a backup to say the least. So if he gets no game time, his price just diminishes, plummets. It's good to keep these guys rotated. Sometimes though, I like to fix these players in if I think we have no other options. And I think Yuri Ribeiro could still be a good Premier League player. So there's no good playing a half-injured Kakache if we've got Yuri Ribeiro. Whereas other players, maybe if they are slightly injured, I'd rather play them than some of these other players.
You're the boss.
I am the boss, but it's a good question.
Just questioning.
It is a good question, but I tell you what. So let's take a look at the results then of our first season in the Premier League. And so, first season, and we stayed there, mid-table too.
Favourite number as well, look.
13, lucky
I'll
number
settle for that.
13. Absolutely, yeah, I think we've got to be happy with that for sure. One thing I didn't mention is pre-season before, we had a job interview for Aston Villa.
Did we?
Yeah, so Premier League team coming in for us as a manager. I would have took you with me, don't worry. But we stayed with Nottingham. We've got a job to do here. 5-year plan. Kyle George was our top scorer of the season, only with 16 goals. That's quite a low tally, I'd say. So let's take a look at the league table then and dive into it a little bit more. We had a great end to the season there, 46 points, and we managed to pick up 4 wins from our last 5 games. So that took us over that 40-point barrier there. But we got 14 points clear of relegation. Norwich, Burnley, and Crystal Palace 46. Going down.
There's only 9 points behind Leeds though.
Yeah,
we finished in 7th in a European spot.
A European spot, 3 wins away to be honest. Not bad. We lost 18 in total. No big losses there that we can see. It looks like just a couple of 2-1s, 3-1s, that kind of thing. So I think very much we cemented our position here.
I think the fans would have been happy with that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So all down to competitions then. It's our first time in the rebuild that we can really put up a fight. Quarter-final. In the FA Cup by Arsenal.
Alright.
Second round by Port Vale though.
Disappointed with that one.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shocker. Port Vale, I think, are like 3 leagues below us. That's poor from us. But hey, a good showing from us in the FA Cup.
We would have had a few injuries then. We would have been just playing the second team.
We will take a look at the statistics then. So Kyle George got 16 goals. Nobody had a high average rating, which just shocked me to be fair. I don't think I've ever seen that, especially from considering we didn't get relegated. I think I would expect to have seen at least 1 or 2 7s in there just to, I don't know, cement it a little bit more and just show that how well we've been doing. Value-wise though, prices are going up for our players. Kyle George is still at £30 million. We've got Lazaro, who we bought for like £5 million, £27 million now. So, you know, we can bargain in the transfer window and see how we do in season 3. Yeah. Shall we look at how we do?
Let's go for it.
So financially as well, we're looking a lot more secure now. £38 million in the bank. We had a starting budget of £19 million. Not a lot at all, to be honest. We've still got £3 million left. So I think as well that starts as like the season crosses over. So I might have had a little bit more. I'm not quite sure if I can remember correctly. So let's take a look at some of the transfers then, because I have been quite a busy bee in this transfer window. £7 million there. Let's see if I had any more on the outs. Ryan Yates, another £7 million there was one. On the ins though, we have been very busy indeed. Orsolini is a fantastic player. I cannot quite believe we've managed to pick this guy up. He's an Italian right winger from Chelsea who did not want him anymore. They signed him for £14 million from Bologna, which again is a bargain, to be honest.
Yeah.
Originally from Juve. They played him one full season where he only played 20 games. Then he hasn't really played since. He played one game. We picked him up for £12.5 million. Come to us.
There, was it?
Yeah, come to us. We will definitely start you because he is fantastic. 6 foot as well is what I quite like about him, to be honest. A lot of really good player traits. I think in the match engine he works quite well as well. So I'm happy with that one.
Yeah.
I felt like, though, centre-back wise, we might have been struggling.
Yeah.
And I think, although we have a decent centre-back in there, in Scott McKenna, Thomas Basilla is a guy who is just that next step up. 24 years of age as well, so he's quite young, a young French centre-back. Some great physicals there. I think great positioning,
that's good, yeah.
Good marking, good heading. Very well-rounded centre-back, a solid centre-back who's been playing in the French league for a long time, and a 7.19 average rating.
Scored a couple of goals as well. That's good.
He has.
Yeah.
We got him for quite cheap, I think, because Nantes has been relegated. So I think he had a relegation release clause, which we activated. £17 million, just under 18. So very happy to pick him up, bring him to the club. But more busyness. Jorginho!
Hey, we all
How have
knew
we done that?
Hey?
Yeah, I mean,
Happy with
Chelsea
that.
just offloading players left, right and centre.
What a player to bring to Forrest, though, eh?
Exactly. I mean, in the last rebuild, of course, we brought in N'Golo Kante on a free transfer.
Yeah.
We're doing it here with Jorginho. He did not want to come to us in a pre-contract agreement. He sees, obviously, Forrest. He wanted to be a little bit further up. But then when nobody came in for him and he was just a dead free transfer, that's when we're like, now would you like to come to Nottingham? And he was very much obliged.
You're going to play every game.
Exactly. So, I mean, for our level, he's an elite midfielder. He is fantastic. He takes us to that next level, doesn't he? So,
centre midfield person with that passing ability.
Yeah. Euros winner. I mean, he was fantastic. Champions League winner, of course. He's been fantastic. He's had a great year in real life, to be honest. And again, never played in that last season. 0 times. So, I don't know what who Chelsea were playing, but they weren't playing these players. That's fine. Okay. We next brought in Adrian Fine. It's another centre midfielder from Bayern Munich this time round, and we actually signed him on a free as well. Same situation, so we've got 2 brand new centre midfielders there, and Adrian Fine is very much capable again of doing the business in centre midfield. A lot younger as well.
That's good though. He can do all the running around for us.
Exactly. Now we've loaned in Andrea Papetti. 23rd of July I brought this guy in on a late deal because we had already brought in Basilla, and I thought, right, okay, we've got good centre backs then. And then I seen Papetti on the loan market, and I thought, I'm getting him as well because he is great. His physicals are fantastic. Spurs were loaning him out, just paying his wage, no any extras or anything like that. So I snapped him up. I had to. I think he's just really good. But, well, this is the reason why I thought maybe we didn't need him before, but I signed him anyway. And my friend Jason, who watches, who every single time we do one of these rebuilds, he writes a massive comment and said, I'm still waiting for my Cypriot player. Here he is, Jace. Marius Christodoulou. Nailed that, didn't I?
You did, I think you did,
That's not bad. That's a first take as well. Don't let Sid tell you anything different. Anyway, we brought him in. He's 18 years of age. Look how good he is.
Yeah.
We have loaned him out, though. Because of bringing in Andrea Papetti, we've loaned him out. And I think that's a good choice because he's going to play every single game in the MLS. And he didn't have a work permit. So that's probably the reason why I brought him.
That all does that work.
Yeah, Papetti, to be honest.
An 18-year-old, though, that'll give him a good bit of experience, and we'll have him back when he's a bit more better then.
Exactly. £7.5 million from Apoel, who's pretty much the best team in Cyprus. So we're bringing him in. He is going to be fantastic. But our big signing, other than Jorginho on a free transfer, is this man from Partizan, £15 million, Corentin Durand. Another regen, and I don't understand how he's this good because he's 18 and he is fantastic. So really good attributes that we can see here, especially physically. We all know physicals are definitely the best. He plays on that left-hand side. Now, funny thing is, Filip Stevanovic, who we had on loan the season beforehand, he comes from Partizan, plays in the same position, plays with, and it's very much a similar player.
Yeah.
So we're bringing in from Partizan again. We like our Serbian left midfielders. He is going to be amazing for us, I'm sure of it. Tactically, this is what we're looking like. We have changed it ever so slightly because Orsolini is left-footed and Durand is both-footed. We're using inverted wingers now. So instead of them being standard wingers going bombing down the left, the right, trying to cut balls in, They're now cutting it on the inside as well. So we've got the shadow striker there still. And I'm very much leaving it to the assistant manager. I'm only picking Orsolini on the right and Lazaro on the right as well. The rest of it, I'm going to let you decide game by game.
Fair enough.
Season preview this time bags us in 10th. Wow. So I would definitely take that at the end of the season because that's still progress from our 13th position.
And hopefully we might have a bit of silver with it.
Exactly, and we can build on that. A nice little cup run would not go amiss. Okay.
Money-wise as well, isn't it?
Let's see what you think of Nottingham Forest. Memories. Before we have a look at some results, Dad, memories of Nottingham Forest. I'm sure you've got loads.
I say loads. I mean, when I was quite young, Brian Clough was the manager then.
Yeah.
And he gave me loads of memories.
Yeah.
I really like Brian Clough. I still think now he's the best manager never to be England manager.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people hold the same opinion.
So really the memories that I've got of Forest all around Brian Clough. I can remember watching Brian Clough's last league game.
Yeah.
At Forest. He kisses everybody.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that. I remember him kissing a lady police officer and all that. And all the fans were crying and things like that. I can remember that game. But I can also remember his last ever league game, which was away.
Yeah.
I think it was Ipswich. They lost 2-1. But who do you think scored the last goal in Brian Clough's management?
Son?
You're right.
Was it Nigel?
Yeah, they lost 2-1 and he scored the last goal. And I thought that was great. It was just a way of signing off for him. You got the memories then of the 2 European Cups that they won.
Yeah, in a row as well.
Yeah, in a row, which is one of the hardest things to do.
God, yeah.
Won both games 1-0. John Robertson scored in one game.
Yeah.
And who scored in the other game?
Clough?
No. Trevor Francis.
Really?
Yes.
Of course, local lad.
Plymouth Boy. And we're touching on him because of why? He was the first £1 million player.
Well, was he?
Trevor Francis. Well, I tried looking this up to make sure that the fact that I've always told you that Brian Clough wouldn't pay the £1 million.
No, he paid
a penny left. But when I looked into it a little bit more, I'm still not 100% sure if that's right or no. So I'm not going to say that's definite. But that was the rumour that we heard. He in a documentary that me and you watched, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He did say I took away a penny, so I wouldn't pay the
$1 million.
I didn't want him to say I'm a £1 million player.
Yeah.
But I can remember that game quite well. He didn't play very well, Trevor Francis.
Yeah.
And the ball came. I think it was John Robertson crossed it over, and he was on the far post, nodded it in, and that was the only thing he'd done in that game.
Yeah.
The other game, they won 1-0 in that game. I can't think who that was against now, but they didn't play. Forrest didn't play very well at all. They were, they under the cosh most of the game, but they got away with it. They defended really well. Brian Clough, that's what he was good at. That's what he was good at. So that was some of the tactics, some of the memories I got. But I think I can't touch on memories of Forest without bringing up one big memory, and unfortunately, it's not a good memory.
Okay.
I can remember watching this game at Hillsborough.
Oh.
The 1989 FA Cup semi-final.
Yeah.
With Liverpool, when 96 fans lost their lives.
Yeah.
Not many people remember that the other team was Nottingham Forest.
I wouldn't have said that.
No.
I just thought it was Sheffield Wednesday.
I actually watched that game. It was awful watching it, and I'm not going to go into the why and all that. We know all about that game.
Yeah.
But it's one of the memories I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
Awful, really.
Yeah.
But
they're still trying to get justice for themselves now, aren't they? So.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's the bad side of football. The good side of football, Forest give us loads of memories, and I'm sorry if I've missed quite a few memories, but I could have touched on quite a few more, especially around Brian Clough.
Yeah, I mean, the interviews for me, like, obviously I wasn't really alive when he used to have these interviews, but from watching the films and documentaries, of course, The Damned United, one of my favourite films, especially about football, I think is absolutely brilliant. Whether people say it's like all of it's true or not, I don't really care. It's still one of my favourite films. But some of the interviews that I've seen with like Muhammad Ali and stuff, where they say, what are you going to do about it? And he says, well, I'm going to fight him, and stuff like that is just absolutely superb.
There's a man called Brian Clough.
Yeah, and it's so good, and he is one of the best ever interviewees because like you just didn't know what he was going to say next.
No.
And I'm not the best manager in the world,
go on.
but I'm in the top one.
That's right, yeah.
That's one of my favourites.
There was another memory, I think I've got to bring it up as well, because you've just brought up with Muhammad Ali and it's boxing. It reminded me of another one that I had, and I don't know what game it was at, but QPR it was. There was a pitch invasion.
Right, okay.
And it was the Forest fans coming onto the pitch.
Right.
I think it was the time that they weren't doing very well, but they invaded the pitch. So they're trying to get them off the pitch. And as they're coming off, and this is true, and I've seen the film of it, Brian Clough is hit one, a left hook with one fan, a right hook with another fan, and he's grabbed another one and he's chucked them like this, right? And it was a big news that everybody thought he was going to get sacked.
Yeah.
The very next day, the fans that he punched came forward and apologised to him. And they apologised for going onto the pitch, and they said they were wrong, and they come up and apologised to him, and they kissed him.
Yeah, brilliant.
He went like I give a cheek, and they kissed each cheek and that, and they said sorry. Brilliant.
Brian Clough here, superb. And so,
get in.
European football next season.
Hey.
That's not bad at all.
Happy with that.
5th place in Europa League. Unfortunately, just 2 points off Aston Villa there in 4th. Obviously, the job that we got offered, but still, we're not focusing on that.
Nope.
So that's a great start, to be honest, to keeping us in our 3rd season. To be honest, to manage to finish in 5th place in the Premier League. I mean, we're above Man City, by the way.
And Spurs.
Arsenal, Spurs, like some huge clubs.
Everton.
I don't know how we've managed to pull this off, to be honest, but Manchester United are champions. That's fantastic for me, but we are sat in 5th place. Other competitions, of course, we were the runner-up in the FA Cup.
Hey, we got to the final, though.
We got to the final.
So
we also got to the semis in the Carabao Cup as well.
We had a good run in the league.
And we had a great day at Wembley.
And a great day at Wembley.
A great day at Wembley. Let's take a look at that FA Cup then and see the result. It was after extra time.
5-4 against the Arsenal.
Arsenal. What a game
Arsenal
that
never
is.
scored 5 goals.
No. I mean, they scored 96th minute. The game finished 4-4, and then it went to extra time. I would hazard to say that has got to be the best ever FA Cup final ever.
Probably would have been, yeah.
Has to be. I mean, Myron Boadu, who is a fantastic young Dutch striker, has finished it off. But Kyle George, a hat-trick for Kyle George. That's not bad at all.
Yeah,
he is looking superb now. 22 years of age, and that's only going to do good for his price tag and his value going forward. So, that's a great season in my eyes, to be honest. Runner-up in the FA Cup. We wanted some silverware, but unfortunately, we got there, just fell at the last hurdle in the 96th minute of extra time, and then obviously European football next season. So, I've got a bit of a job in my hands now, because we've got a great team, but I don't think we've got a great squad.
No.
We need some extra players to fill in when we are playing these Europa League games.
Because it's on a Thursday night, isn't it?
Thursday night. Nobody likes Thursday night.
We usually
night
play on a
games.
Sunday then, so when you play away, it usually affects the team, doesn't it?
Definitely does. And I think teams are definitely in the Premier League have suffered from that, especially like Arsenal, Spurs, United. We all suffered when we were playing in Europa League. It's never great. And then having to play on the Sunday. Right, okay. Transfer window. Let's see. So, finances are looking fantastic. Let's take a look at the transfers then, because we have had a very busy transfer window, like I mentioned.
Yeah.
One big name coming in. I mean, we're just picking up scraps.
And Villa finished above us, and he wants to play for us.
Yeah. We finished above Man City, and they had him transfer listed. So, I mean, I'm more than happy to bring in a guy in his prime, 28 years of age, for £19 million. He
wanted to play for us more than play for Forrest.
Exactly. Obviously, this is not the update, and they still went and signed him for £58 million. Got him for a lot cheaper than what they did in real life.
Yeah.
And he didn't even play last season. Like 4 games. Like, what are they doing in the Premier League? I don't understand it, because he's absolutely incredible. Young English talent. Well, young, 28. He is amazing. Other signings, though. Gabigol. We managed to pick up Gabriel Barbosa. Now, I'm really happy with this, because obviously he's one of my favourite strikers. I've got a shirt of him playing for Flamengo. We've bought him from Spurs. £17 million. He didn't play a lot or score a lot for Spurs, to be honest. They signed him for £25 million. But definitely, he is going to be an incredible squad player for us. But we signed him, and then a guy come up available on the loan market, and I just couldn't resist, because it was Yusufa Moukoko. Of course, he has that 200 potential range in the game. We just don't know how good he could be. And he's 19.
His dribbling, his finishing, and his first touch. It's all there, isn't it?
He's just an all-rounder player already. And he's only 19 years of age. He's moved to Bayern Munich from Dortmund. And I'd argue to say he's our best striker.
Yeah.
Because that's how fantastic he actually looks, to be honest. We did sign Idrissi on a free transfer from Red Bull Leipzig. Again, another player who looks fantastic, and when we came into the Premier League would definitely be our starting winger. But we have got Durand, who has been amazing for us last season, and I think this guy's going to be a good squad player. Like we mentioned, we need these squad players. He plays on both sides. That's perfect for us with Orsolini and Durand. Brandon Williams also does that job, plays on both sides. So I think I've been smart with this.
Yeah, he's a good young young player like him.
Definitely. Being very smart and signing these players who can play on both sides. On the out, I haven't really let a lot go, other than Yuri Ribeiro. He's gone to Nantes, of course. We bought their player, their centre-back. We have let him go to theirs. That's unfortunate that we've lost him. And we also sold a couple of other players. Dave Pratt was last season, I think it might have been. Yeah, last season. So we don't have to worry about that too much. We've signed definitely enough to I mean, look at the squad that we have here now. Solid.
We're a better squad now. Definitely.
Absolutely. The tactic looks very similar, and all I'm keeping is Lazaro. I don't want to fill any roles. And I think because we have all of these players, the likes of Jack Grealish, he can play there.
Yeah.
He can play on the wing. He can play in centre midfield if we need him to. He plays everywhere. Gabriel Barbosa can play on the right because he's left-footed as well. He can also play up top. Yusufa Makuku is exactly the same. I'm leaving it to you to pick this game by game instead of securing
I will try my best.
Exactly.
Look what I've done last season.
Yeah, instead of securing every single position and just see how that goes. So, season number 4. What are we expecting from season number 4? We've got European football. Is that going to hamper us in the league, or do you think we've got a big enough squad now?
Sometimes when it's the first season in European football, it does hamper you a little bit, because getting that
balance
of playing on the Thursday and then travelling all that thing, it does affect the teams, and that's where the squad really does come into it, because you can afford to take some players and leave some players at home still for your next home game or your away game. But I'm hoping that I'll settle for it as long as we're above mid-table, but a bit of silver.
All right, okay. Let's see what we can do. So in the league, second.
Well, our fans would be well happy with that.
Absolutely buzzing with that. Look how close we were as well. We lost the last game of the season.
If we'd won that, we'd have won the league.
We would have won the league. It looks like it was Southampton. 2-0 loss to Southampton. How bad the end run was as well. We drew 0-0 to Sheffield United. We drew 0-0 to Fulham. Either one of those wins, and we're joint points with Chelsea. We just needed a win. I'm so gutted.
Yeah, definitely.
How Chelsea have done that, I mean,
so close. But we're in the Champions League now.
We're in the Champions League. Speaking of which, European competitions, we were in one.
Yeah.
How do we do? We won it.
Get in. Bit of silver.
Mulder.
Hey.
In extra time.
Don't care. I'm happy with that.
That is immense. Now, of course, Nottingham Forest actually beat Malmo, the Swedish team. We beat Mulder, the Norwegian team. So a bit of a Scandinavian link there when we get to finals. And Kyle George in extra time done the business for us after they really crushed our dreams, because we come back 45th plus 2, right on the stroke of half time. We score a goal. Scott McKenna gets on the 87th minute because they scored
3 minutes to go.
80th minute. We're 2-1 up. And then the 95th minute they score. That must have been devastating. And that's when you think momentum just takes over and you think they're going to go on and win this now. No. Kyle George steps up 101st minute, bags us the win and the Europa League. So we were definitely going to be playing the Champions League next season. So that is absolutely fantastic. No FA Cup or Carabao Cup, 4th round, doesn't matter.
No, we've got the silver. We're in the Champions League.
We'll focus on that next season.
We could finish now and we've still been a success already, haven't we?
Exactly.
You know?
Squad-wise then, goals. Let's take a look at them. 27 goals were scored by Yusufa Makuku, so it looks like he has been our #1 striker, to be honest. Kyle George has only played 20 from starting the games and 26 off the bench. He still scored 23 goals though. 12 assists from Makuku. Also, Jack Grealish, 30 assists. He has easily been our best player this season. What a signing that is. 100%. He's now back up to £50 million. Jackie boy, what a player.
All we had to do is just put an arm around him and say, come with us.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what he does for us.
Yeah, superb stuff. So, on the outs, we only had one man leaving. Side Ben Rama, £10 million. We actually made a profit from him. But on the ins, we have made a few really good signings. Manchester United let go of Alex Telles, and we have picked him up on a free transfer to give a little bit of competition for Liberato Cacace there on that left. I think that's great. Edouard Mendy. Carl Darlow left us. We've brought in Eduardo Mendy for the goalkeeper position, just to back up our... Well, to be honest, we don't really pick the goalkeeper, so really it's letting the assistant manager decide who on the day they think is a better choice. We also managed to pick up a £15 million right back, and I think this guy is better than the previous right back that we had. This guy is solid, very well rounded, really good physicals, 20 years of age, Brazilian as well, and he's got himself a work permit, so he would definitely be playing for us. So him and Lazaro, he's going to be battling it out, and I think that's quite good.
Yeah.
And we also picked up this guy. Now, I don't know how, because every single time that I looked at signing this guy when I seen he was out of contract, he would not come to us because of other clubs. As soon as the 1st of July hit and he was out of contract, he wanted to sign for us. How good does he look for 19 years of age? It's mental. One of the best regens I've ever seen for 19, and the fact he comes from Leeds as well, a Serie B team. Yeah, like how have they produced this? It's phenomenal. But there we go. He is in the club. We have made one massive signing though. Jorginho is slightly too old now.
Oh yeah, well.
He's starting to lose his legs.
Yeah.
He's 34.
He done the job for us though.
Yeah, we need a replacement. So I brought in Ruben Neves.
Ooh.
That's a signing.
Like it.
I like Ruben Neves.
Yeah.
I like him a lot in real life. If Man United signed him, I would be absolutely over the moon with that. So Ruben Neves comes in. From Wolves, he stayed there the whole time. £41 million. Last deal of his contract. A world-class centre midfielder in my opinion.
Yeah.
Tactically, I am not securing anything because I genuinely think that we can keep on going. We are still secured Brandon Williams for another season. We are still secured Yusufa Makuku for another season. They let him have him again. Our top scorer last season. He's got
we
better
needed that
as well. So this is a big push because we were only one win away from that title.
And we've got a better squad.
Exactly, because we have still now got Marius Christodoulou, whatever he's called. Sorry, our Cypriot, he has come back. He has a work permit after, I think we might have had him last season, to be honest. We did. 31 games he played for us last season after being out on loan. So he got himself a work permit. He is absolutely sublime at centre-back. And of course, we had Corentin Durand. We looked at him at the start and he was good. Now look at him. Season 5, he's incredible. 20 years of age. We've given him game time and this is how we're going to be rewarded. We have a very good young team here. I'm excited to see how we do.
Oh, definitely.
But before we do that, Dad, facts, fans, players, what do you have for us?
Well, a couple of facts I've got. Nottingham Forest were the first team to play in red.
Okay, that's quite good. Yeah.
But also, when Arsenal were founded in 1889, is it? I've got 1886. They donated a kit to Arsenal.
Okay.
And that is the reason why Arsenal play red.
That's very weird because the other Nottingham team, Notts County, did the same for Juve.
Yeah.
With the stripes. So that's quite bizarre.
Yeah,
how
so
that's
that. And also, the other fact is they were the first team to pay £1 million for a player.
Yeah.
Player-wise, I'm going to go. I'm going to read it off a list, mainly because I didn't want to miss a lot of these players.
Okay.
We got then obviously Nigel Clough, Roy Keane.
Roy Keane,
We all loved Roy Keane, didn't we? Stan Collymore came from Forest as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, good striker.
Don't like him personally.
No, he
good
was
player.
Funny, yeah. Kevin Campbell.
All right, yeah.
Good Everton striker afterwards. Main man, I think, at Forest. Stuart Pearce.
Stuart Pearce, what a player.
What a player. What an English left back he was.
Yeah, legend.
I was gutted when he missed that penalty, but in the Euros '96 when he banged one in,
somebody you won't want to have a fight with.
Oh no.
Him out Roy Keane, to be honest.
But he went back to being manager of Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, he did. So, yeah, I remember that.
Viv Anderson.
Okay, yeah.
Good player. And I'll pick this one out. Goalkeeper. Who do you think it would be?
I don't know.
I'll give you a clue. He was manager at Plymouth Argyle.
I still don't know.
Peter Shilton.
Oh, Peter Shilton, right, okay.
England goalkeeper. He was manager at Peter Shilton. A little story about Peter Shilton as well. The Buckies is up about 5 minutes away from here, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Go there every Saturday morning. He'd be in there putting his bet on.
Really?
Yeah, he'd be walking in. Peter Shilton.
That would not be allowed these days.
Well, he got in trouble with it, I think. Yeah, you're not allowed to do it, really. So then you got Martin O'Neill, good manager at Villa.
I love Martin O'Neill, especially for his time at Villa as well, yeah.
Yeah. Then you got Trevor Francis from Plymouth.
Yeah.
Another little story about Trevor Francis. I just told you he was in Plymouth, but he went to the same school as my dad.
Oh, really?
And he was in the same year as my dad's brother, Uncle Tony.
Yeah.
Uncle Tony always says to us, he was a better player than Trevor Francis. Always says it to me, which always strikes me funny, that does.
Yeah.
Archie Gemmill.
Archie Gemmill. Is that the Scottish?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Played in one of the World Cups.
Yeah.
Scored a goal, I want to say against Brazil, but I'm not 100% sure, but he did score a goal.
Yeah, it was a superb goal as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, he played for Forest. Kenny Burns, John Robertson.
John Robertson, hell of a winger.
Yeah, definitely.
One hell of a winger.
Des Walker, remember Des Walker?
Is that the centre back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scored an own goal in a cup final, if I remember rightly, against Tottenham. Tottenham won 2-1.
Right.
And the winning goal was scored by an own goal. Ian Boyer as well, that was another good player.
I don't think I've ever heard of him.
Yeah,
he might be the only one I've never heard of.
He's gone back a few years again, and I'm pretty sure he was a captain of the side as well. Good.
Okay.
Good. But there's a lot of other players that I've missed out, and I apologise for anybody, especially the Forrest fans who would say, what about? I have missed quite a few players, but that's the list I wanted to go for.
Yeah.
And I think it was mainly because of who they were and things like that, and I knew you'd remember some of them.
Yeah.
So there you go. But famous fans.
Okay, famous fans, right.
Right. Lee Westwood.
Oh, really? The golfer?
Yeah, he's a Forest fan. I have actually met him as well.
Have you? Yeah.
Yeah, I've met him at one of the golf tournaments I went to watch.
You're always a better golfer than him, weren't you?
Yeah. Went down to St. Million and met him down there. Designer Paul Smith.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Sue Pollard. IDI. Jason Statham's
a Forest fan.
Yeah, now I've brought him up mainly because there's another link there.
Right, okay.
He's married to a Plymouth girl.
Do you know, right, I used to have her on Facebook and then she got famous and then deleted me. I was gutted. She used to go Tavistock Skills, which is quite near from quite close here, about 20 minutes away. So yeah, Forest fan, did not see that coming.
No.
So, season number 5. Unfortunately, we did not win the league.
Stayed around the top though, fourth.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Securing ourselves in the top 4, to be honest. So, yeah, we've got to be happy with that. Jack Grealish there, picking up some assists, and Yusuf Makuku getting a lot of goals. I don't think if we did carry this on, we'd be able to keep him much longer because he's coming into one of the world's best strikers. So the fact that we've got him at Forest is great.
2 seasons in the European spaces.
Yeah, in the top 4.
Top 4, yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
Got to be happy with that.
We didn't quite do as well as last season, but we were there or thereabouts pretty much all season. We were creeping into the top 4, coming back out. Yeah, we didn't do anything
That could have been because of the Champions League, the pressure of playing in the Champions League and all that, because you've got to play your better players when you're playing the Champions League.
Yeah.
The Europa League, you can get away with playing squad players.
Exactly.
You're looking at playing your best players when you're playing Europe.
And the teams above us, you expect them to be above us anyway. We still finish above, like Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal. Of course. Yeah, a few really big teams there. But we are in other competitions, of course.
Come on.
Let's take a look. Because we are the Champions League winners. I don't know.
How did we do it? Brian Clough would be proud of us, wouldn't he? Yeah, he would be proud of us.
Struck gold with the tactic. I mean, again, the final, we are just having the best finals ever because yet again we win it in extra time. The 120th minute.
What's the last minute?
The last minute that could physically happen, we scored in the 120th minute. Gabby goal picked it up. Somehow. I mean, we were being dominated too, by the way. Yeah. We scored in the 2nd minute. They scored in the 11th, the 12th, the 23rd. We scored in the 36th. Then we got another one in the 43rd. Then they got one in the 44th. It was an absolutely mental game. Yeah. We equalised in the 66th minute to take it to extra time. And when that happened, we got Gabby goal to score, and we somehow won the Champions League. So I think we've got to take a look at how we managed to get there, to be honest, and see our route to the Champions League. Because in our group, we had quite an easy group. We had Porto, Sassuolo, Villarreal, so we were probably expected to go through on that. First round knockout stage, we defeated Monaco. We won the first leg 6-0. So we dominated them in the second leg. We maybe rested a couple of players and we lost 2-0, but we still went through. Quarter-finals where it gets juicy. We defeated Juve. What a team to defeat. 3-1 away from home as well.
That is a huge top result, that is.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show how strong the English teams are because 4 of us made it to the quarterfinals and only 1 of us were knocked out. Man United won 5-0 away to Barca. Semi-finals, though, it looks like we should be playing Manchester United. And we beat them 3-2 away from home. 5-4 on aggregate again. Chelsea dominated Atletico Madrid. And
that's good for the fans as well, because they wouldn't have to travel abroad there. So that's even better then, isn't it?
Absolutely incredible. And then, of course, the final. How we've done that, I will never know. Let's take a look at then. Goals, 29 from Yusuf Makuku. It's not a high tally at all. We've seen so many high tallies in these rebuilds. It's not a high tally at all. 14 from Corentin Durand. Assist-wise, Jack Grealish is up there again. And I think he also has the highest average rating behind Yusuf Makuku and Marius Christodoulou, our young Cypriot, who is now a Champions League winner. I don't know what to say. That's immense, isn't it? That is immense.
Absolutely brilliant.
It's got to be something to do with how good the tactic plays. I mean, it's very much just a standard tactic.
We've got to buy these players and put them in, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you think we come from Championship football into the Premier League, 2 seasons later, we're in the Champions League.
Yeah.
5 seasons, we've won it.
Yeah. I think it's just picking things that I know works really well. The deep line playmaker and the box-to-box midfielder. Finding players for those roles that I know will suit. And then having a shadow striker this whole time has just been the next best thing, because the goals and assists that have come from midfield have taken us to these wins, because of course our strikers have not been scoring abundance of goals like we've seen in other rebuilds where I've been playing maybe a 4-4-2 or something different with 2 up top.
When
they
you've got a
haven't
good
been doing
squad,
that.
though, and everybody's scoring goals, that's the good teams, really. I mean, look at Man City last season in real life. Man City
really
didn't play with a striker, did they?
No.
Sergio Aguero already played a tour.
Yeah. So we've somehow managed to do it. So I don't even have to ask again. That is a huge, huge success. Nottingham Forest fans, I bet you're happy with that.
We are.
Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for joining me again, Dad. And we'll see you next Monday. We've got a target to hit 1,500. Surely you've got to be smashing it for that. We won the Champions League with Forrest. The 3rd ever Champions League. We've got to be happy with that.
Definitely.
See you soon for the next one. Bye-bye.